Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Answer the Call. We took a 1-week hiatus, probably the best week to take a break. Like, literally nothing happened the previous week, so it was, like, perfect. I was away visiting my, it was my mom's birthday. It was literally my mom's birthday, so there was just no way I was going to miss that. So I did a lot of streams, but they were, like, a couple hours in the morning for a very short period of time, and that was it. And it was just so hard.
Conveniently nothing to talk about. Like
exactly, it was so boring.
Just a
boring week. Yeah. Waiting for what we're going to talk about today, which is the state of 4.2.1 in Star Citizen. If you're just coming across this video randomly and don't know what Answer the Call is, it's a podcast where myself and Croncy talk about Star Citizen, and then the call part is we open up our Discord to you guys, anybody. We've spent years building our platform, and then we give it to you so you can say things. It comes from way back in the originating times of Star Citizen content creation, where everybody thought content creators had the only voices, and I said, hey, no, everybody should have a voice. So yeah, that's kind of where it came from. But before we get into Star Citizen stuff, streaming on a 15-inch laptop and no extra monitor is really hard. That was really hard.
I imagine you've been used to your setup for the last, like, I don't know, how old are you?
10
30
years
or something? So.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, it was crazy hard. It was fun, but it was hard. It was hard. What'd you get up to in the past week before we get into the current stuff?
Past week, yeah, getting ready for this patch and starting to jump into it. We did a lot over the last 2 weeks. Also before patch. Finally got to do some more Hathor.
Nice.
Successfully completed for the first time ever. Nice. Hathor all the way through.
Did you get a pure Karenite, or is that this patch?
A pure Karenite? I don't think so.
That's this patch.
We just got regular Karenite.
Gotcha.
But yeah, finally getting to experience it without any bugs whatsoever.
Yeah. Nice.
All the way through from start to end was great and was awesome. And in a similar vein, we also got to do the entirety of Irradiated Velokar, no issues, all the way from start to end.
Nice.
Notably, this is all before this patch underneath us. But it felt good, and it felt really exciting to actually play the stuff and it be working. So that was great. The last 2 weeks have been good for Star Citizen for me.
I'm gonna say it. This patch is not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm gonna be like, I made a video yesterday. I did a funny thumbnail that was just a joke about Pirate Software and like all the thumbs that have been about him, like he's cooked and all this stupid stuff. Yep. And I just did the same thing that everybody else was doing. I just did it with Elliot. I hope he's not upset. I haven't talked to him yet. I wanted to give him the weekend because I know he takes the content in the game really personally because it's his and he owns it. And I'm sure he's not feeling too great right now. But I wanted to start the video out where I was going to talk about a lot of the state of 4.2.1, but start out with the positives of it. There are a lot of like, hey, they took our feedback and they did like the right things with that feedback in there. I guess I should bring up the notes right away and kind of talk about or show what I'm talking about here when it comes to that. So obviously, like the resource drive event is the negative, and that's what we'll talk about. Yeah. Unfortunately, ship escorts are negative because you can't even get them right now, as far as I'm aware. PvP interdiction. I have not been interdicted yet, which I'm really surprised in the for the event so far, but apparently it works. But the big thing for me is Wicklow recipes. So yeah. All right. Is it me, guys? Because
it's just my side. Just my side. Keep going.
Okay. Cool. Sorry. The Wicklow recipes is the big thing, where the like the removal of random rewards and it becoming like you choose the missions or whatever. And and then obviously green zone security reactivation is really good as well, potentially, because then hopefully this starts removing armistice zones more and more, better station turrets, executive ship loadouts coming back as well, although the guns aren't there. I think the salvage balance is great. People are fighting me on that the reclaimer should be like the best thing ever. And yeah. Croncy, I can also like pop in and out or do something. Like I could try something.
Nah, don't worry about it. Because everything seems fine on my end, so I don't know what's going on. So
it's most likely Discord. So like we could change the region. You could try to do that while I'm talking of the chat that we're in the channel.
Once again, because I'm hearing you completely fine, so I have no idea. Why that's happening? So that it's
very weird.
But anyone who's watching the VOD, sometimes internet things happen.
Yeah, sorry, weird.
Yeah.
What are before we move on to like anything? Did we talk about the salvage balance of like they changed, because I think that was one thing that happened last week. The Vulture and the Fortune are now extremely efficient, like in the almost 90% efficiency on the like pulling RMC, and the Reclaimer is like 50% efficient now, but it has a huge diameter on its lasers, so that's like what bonus it gives. And I think they sat down and they were like, small ships do a really good job of scooping up small things. Big ships are going to do a really good job of scooping up big things when it comes to salvage. I don't know why I'm getting fighting on this. Feel free if you guys want to call in on that subject and tell me why I'm wrong, because I have not heard a valid argument as to why I am. I will accept and bow down if you can argue against it, but I just don't get it. I literally think it's what Wildsaw said in chat, or Mildsaw said in chat, that just it's angry solo reclaimers that paid hundreds of dollars for their ship and want an advantage over everyone else, and that's just not how it should be. They should be everything should be kind of situational, right? That's the best way to make the game possible, I think. So
yeah, that sounds like a fantastic change. That's certainly in line with what I want those to work, like how I want those to work.
Also, news on the Reclaimer that people don't know, apparently the door frame is bigger for the elevator. So if you want to send down 16 SCU boxes down the elevator and not that back like butt side of it, you can. The actual elevator. It still only fits 3, but it's easier to do apparently. I haven't tested that yet, but somebody told me that it is. Volt pistol's cool, and then I don't know if you've interacted with inventory on live, but it's night and day. So there's lots of good that came out of this before we get into the bad. And again, that people are like, the year of stability, the year of stability, the year of stability. A lot of this stuff is not stability, unfortunately. I mean, the inventory definitely is, but the year of playability and things like that they had mentioned, a lot of this stuff is that. So if you're gonna shit on them, and we're gonna shit on them, I am for sure. You got to tell them where they did well, and they did well in a lot of things. It's like literally we're dealing probably with one really stupid decision and some mission bugs.
Yeah.
As far as like what's causing all our problems.
It is not a one-dimensional thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. That's just what I want to start with, is that there was good. There was good.
Yep.
Now let's talk about our experiences with the event, where I don't know about you.
Can I start? Can I start?
Please, because I hope you're having a good time.
No problems. I am the luckiest Star Citizen of all time.
I'm telling you, I got all 4 intermissions with very little friction. After that was totally another story. And you can't say there's no problems. You do not have all the missions available to you. Okay. No. But go ahead. Take the floor.
Tons of evidence from everyone else that there are tons of problems. So I did get to log in day 1. Would have been about 4 or 5 hours in. And that entire 4 to 5 hours was people messaging me saying that it's all gone to shit, nothing's working, no one can get missions, and blah, 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 blah. The second that I get in, everything's completely fine. I'm able to get my starter mission. I do it. Freight elevators are working perfectly, and it's fine. And then, to be fair, my rest of the experience has just been me mining, because that's how I plan on doing a large portion of this. So I actually haven't really interacted with the system as a whole properly. I've just been mining.
Oh, okay. Of course, you've had no problems. Exactly. It's all mission. It's all mission related that are the problems.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the event? Which ones are you turning in for, and how many? Because mining and 11,000 plus SEU is going to be a challenge.
1,100, not 11,000.
No, 11,000 if you're
everything.
turning all of them. It's 11. It's 11 plus 1,000.
Yeah.
So what's your?
Yeah, my goal is not to turn in for everyone.
Okay.
I just want to focus on microtech, and that's it, and then I'll be happy at the end of it. Because I'm a bit of a completionist, but not when it's like this, where it's like a timed limit, and like you really need to do a lot, that sort of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I'm focusing on just doing microtech. My plan is to do mostly mining, and then hopefully when the missions fix themselves, if that happens, I'll spend some time doing like some long haul, not the long haul, but like the big
hauling missions,
like 100 to 120 SEU ones.
Yep. That's what I've been doing, and they're not too bad.
Yeah.
It's okay. Some silly mistakes were made, but it's not bad.
So that's where I'm at. I do want to talk about, before we even get into the experiences, something that I didn't realize was going to be a part of this, and I don't know if you realized it or if they announced it during the ISC, that the thing that really matters about this event is going to be the renaming of the jump point.
No, it's not. You missed something big.
What do you mean? That's the biggest, that's the coolest thing about this.
Coolest, maybe.
Oh, are you going to say the 5% discount?
5%,
I do not give a fuck. I do not give a fuck about the 5% discount.
Because
not
you're
remotely.
Because you're a whale. Because you're a whale.
No, it's because I'm not. Money doesn't matter in this game. It's too easy to make money. 5% means nothing.
Yes, but I think because it's permanent, the expectation is that it will matter at some point. And Hurston, by far, has the best ship shop. It has the current best ship weapons to put on. And then I believe Everus has decent stuff as well. It goes to Hurston, Lorville, there'll be a discount. Everus will have a discount, and the jump point will now have a discount. That's 5% at all three of those places is pretty significant. 5% is 500K on a $10 million ship. It doesn't. It's still 500K, right? So I think that's why people are making those decisions.
I do believe that is the case. I do believe people are doing that for that reason. I just don't think it's remotely anywhere near as cool or as impactful as the like, hey, there is going to be an actual like renaming impact that you will see every time you're on the map, every time you're playing the game. That's like, hey, I was part of this event, and because of that, either I failed at making this happen or this happened, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's what I was most hyped about when they actually announced that during the ISC.
I mean, I think that stuff's cool as well. It's just, I don't know. I feel like 5% might matter if there's a player economy or something. I don't know. I think it just might matter a bit. Yeah. And what I think CIG is just going to do is they're going to be like, oh, so this ship shop is overpowered, you say.
Yeah.
And they're just going to fuck it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, that is the thing, right? Like having the blanket statement, there will be 5% off here or whatever, is very weird. Because, yeah, how do you balance that for the future? How do you like items are going to change in their properties. Crafting is going to come in at some point and change with all of that as well. So it's like, do you just make eventually all 4 planets have the exact same items for sale, and then this one place is 5% less?
No, of course not. Like, I think things are going to start moving around over the course of time, right? Like, guys, ArcCorp makes engines and things like certain things for like components and stuff like that. Like, that's probably what's going to be sold at, like, as we expand out and the game world gets bigger, there's probably going to be more specified things in specified shops. Like, I don't know. I was pretty hyped to get a discount, 5% discount on Crusader ships. I think that's kind of cool. Like, also the idea of like, you know, you might have to rebuy your ships at some point as well, right?
Yeah.
It literally might be that relevant from that standpoint. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I like I'm more into the paints and skins and all that stuff, and
yes,
whatever else is
which
just whatever.
Yeah, which that seems like, in my opinion, I think that's had more of an impact as to what people have chosen for the event so far. If you do want to bring up the chart so this was the numbers as of like 20 minutes ago, the current leaderboard for the event. There was a poll about a week ago about what everyone would choose. So this was before a lot of the information about the 5% sale and the renaming and everything. And Hurston won by more than double second place. So it does appear to be
making sense.
Player favorite.
Yeah. Why do people like Hurston so much? Do you think it's just the colors?
They just all love pollution, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, personally. I also think they're like the most boring corporation of the 4 in the lore.
Yeah.
So I would have to imagine it's the skins. The skins are fine.
I like Orson. It seems like the trams break the least. I run into the least amount of issues there. Like, it's funny why you like certain. I mean, maybe that's one thing we'll ask. Like, why do you like a certain landing zone? It's for me, it's literally because like from bed to gameplay is the least friction for me at that one. ArcCorp's pretty good for that as well, but then when it got close to the jump point, ArcCorp became really problematic because it became a spawn point for a lot of people. Yeah. So I also find it very cool to see how much cargo has been turned in. 50 million, 67 million, and like, let's call it 80 mil. 80 million SCU has been turned in already. Star Citizen has more players playing than I thought there was.
That was my thought. It's
kind of cool.
Friday. So, or Thursday your time. So yeah, once again, I was like maybe 6 hours in, and it was already, I think Hurston had 2.5 mil SCU in 6 hours.
It's super fast.
And that's insane.
Given how broken everything was.
How fast can you reasonably do that? Like each person, if everyone was doing just Hurston at the time, it's like, oh, maybe they've done, at max like 600 SCU each or something. That's still crazy. That's an insane number, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was cool.
I think people are really motivated to play right now as well, simply because they may not necessarily want to do any of this either, but they know that they need to do it early. Otherwise, over time, things degrade and get worse and worse and worse, and they may not be able to, as with most of the other events in the past. So I think people were like, I want to get it done this weekend. I personally wanted to get it completely done. I wanted to do all of them and just be done with it. I thought we were going to be able to like share with the org. In the PTU, you could share the numbers, and now you cannot. Which was kind of frustrating for me because I was just hoping to be done with it and then move back to my alt account and play, my little my gameplay, I guess. But now I find myself just mining and moving cargo every day, which is okay, but it's not my ideal.
Which we'll maybe come back to that soon because I do want to talk a little bit about like the mechanical things of the event that I don't like. But now we've talked about like what the event is. Let's go back to the original thing about our experiences. So just if you're on Reddit at all, if you're on Spectrum at all, if you're on any streamers chat or anything, you would have seen, if you haven't been participating, you would have seen just the mountains and mountains of issues that have come up from this event. My sort of two big ones that I'm hearing are a lot freight elevators breaking, which since the introduction, they have just been this wall that will not break.
Freight elevators specifically. Outpost freight elevators are a specific bottleneck that have always been an issue. Always. And that's not good. And the choices they have made, at the beginning I said they made one stupid mistake, and then there's bugs. The absolutely stupid mistake is to bottleneck the intro to each mission to be at an outpost. That is dumb. Because the likelihood of it breaking is insanely high. To also take ready for this one, Croncy? Large cargo mission, which has 100 plus SCU, and have the spawn point of that mission be at an outpost that can only have 64 SCU or something like that on its grid, by the way. So you have to literally pull it up and pull it down multiple times to finish, is stupid. We have done the thing that CIG always does, and they don't know their game. And a lot of people are saying they don't play their game. They don't play their game. They don't play their game. Nobody expects people who work on a game for 8 hours a day to play it in their free time. But what I do expect is for somebody there to know the game and have enough pull to point at that and go, what are you doing? Before we ever get here, before we ever get to the PTU, someone's got to say, what are you doing? And I mean, again, I say this every time. There should be a CSM. Period. End of story. There should be a CSM, and if people don't know what that is a council of stellar management in EVE Online. They are voted in by the players. Content creators typically don't end up getting voted in. You put up it's like literally an election, and you say what you're going to do, and the entire community votes for the best interests of the game. And then those players are under an NDA, and they are literally told what the next expansion is going to be. And they're able to before things start going too far, they're able to point out issues and other things. They listen to they listen to the CSM more than they listen to us, right? Than CIG listens to us right now. So I think that's what they should do.
If you're not super familiar with Eve, there was also a person who came on the podcast a couple months ago now, who said there was also like a similar thing for, I believe, World of Warships.
Yeah,
there was like another very similar sort of council. So it is a common-ish thing. It's happened a couple of times in the industry with MMOs to exist, and they seem to work sometimes.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but that this would have been resolved with something like that. Like, all right, we're doing this thing. The intro missions are going to be here. Whoa. The intro missions cannot be there, guys. What are you doing? Yep. No, nothing should be there until you fix it. So unless you're planning on fixing it and perfect, you can't do it this way. Hey, maybe we don't have intro missions at all, and you just choose who you want to participate with. Like, they could have done it that way as well, right? So there's lots of things they could have done differently on this. But those are the ones that it was like, those were mental errors, right? Like errors in code and the mission's not working. That is more forgivable than a really, really dumb mistake, like using the outposts. A lot of people are saying, why didn't we use distro centers? Well, Orison doesn't have them, and neither does ArcCorp, so that's why. But yeah.
That is a good point. I actually hadn't thought of that, because I did think that was a pretty reasonable answer, but then it doesn't make much sense, I guess.
Yeah.
So my one was like, you have to remember now that you have 600 people on the server. This may not have necessarily been as much of a problem last year, right? There would still probably have been problems, but not to this extent. So why are we not using Pyro at all for this? Why is there literally no aspect of Pyro that's taken into account except for the fact that there's corundum on some planets? There should be 100% a way to you can pull that stress off a little bit and maybe make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, like, you think
also add to the mission itself, right?
Yeah, exactly. You think the people of Pyro would be trying to take advantage of the amount of just sheer money that's flowing into the system right next to them, right? The people who live in Pyro aren't like criminals that they can't just come through the gate, right? In lore or anything. So yeah, that's a good point as well. I didn't think of that one outside of mining. Obviously, I thought the same thing as you, but yeah.
That's a thing. I also wanted to point out one of the other issues that I've just been hearing a lot of people talk about is also in relation to where these are located, is because these are armistice zones and because it's out in the open, it's incredibly easy to grief, really, of just park your ship inside a freight elevator, right? It's been a huge problem. Now, I want to point out, I think people who are stealing cargo from you, that's I am okay with that. That's the thing.
But it's also just,
you can't retaliate because it's an armistice.
Yeah, guys, if I remember correctly, there was a sneak peek of these outpost freight elevators, and I literally did a 1-hour rant video about it, of how, again, just a mental error this was. because you have armistice zones. There's nobody there to protect you if somebody steals it, and you can't protect yourself, and they could just do whatever they want with very little consequence. And I just found that to be really dumb, and I just kept going, guys, just open the pads, just open them, and then a hangar is below it, just open them. It's not that hard. And then when you do that, you can say you're not allowed to land on the surface anywhere at this outpost, and then you can limit the outpost to certain size ships, because that's what they wanted to do anyway. And then because that's what they did with the size of the freight elevator, and it's just it's like, if we were there in the initial conversations, how I feel like we could have solved problems for them, but they don't play the way we do, so they just don't have that understanding. There's this little disconnect. And I wish that we were there to be able to help them for it, honestly. Like, we're supposed to be doing this together in a way, and I wish there was a way to do it together better, because I feel like we could have helped them here. I don't know.
Especially for something that at least feels like a much cooler version of Safer Stanton.
Yeah.
Safe Stanton, what is it? Safe Stanton, whatever
Safe
it's called.
Stanton, Fight for Pyro, whatever whatever.
Yeah, the one where everyone was lining up. This one feels like a much, much cooler version of that has like these much cooler rewards. And then it's just overshadowed by just too many people not being able to complete them. If we want to go further into bugs, there was also a big issue day one where just Crusader was broken every server, just worldwide. You like could not get the intro missions to Crusader. Right now, barely people aren't able to get intro missions to like most places, but Crusader in particular got like especially screwed over day one. That did get fixed, sorta, because like I said, now everyone's kind of in that state. But
this was like Xylo's response while that was happening. So it was just like, hey, yep, we know there's issues, and they were like, we're working on a hot fix, and then look, it says edit, the fix has been rolled out. And how'd that fix go, Croncy? How'd that fix go? How'd it go?
That fix fixed that problem, like I said, kinda.
Yeah. And it might have created some others.
Yeah, we have more issues now. So I believe none of the combat missions are working. None of the like the bounty-esque ones where you like shoot down a ship and then take its stuff. None of those are working, is my understanding.
They're not showing up anymore. They were, but you had to fight for them, and I think maybe that's also what's happening too. Is they're getting instantly picked up if they're there at all. Yeah,
and then intro missions are now just like mostly not working worldwide, like across the four factions, is what I'm getting from people, is what they're telling me. So a lot, like if people, if you wanted to start today, you're having way more problems than if you wanted to start on Friday.
Yeah. And your Friday was my Thursday. I didn't play Thursday. I started Friday morning, and I didn't have too many issues on the intro. So I don't know what it's like now for other people either. But the issue with the needing to snipe missions in the Moby Glass is specifically because of a bug, apparently, that was caused by this. I don't believe what Xylo's saying, because again, he's just the guy who has to stand in front and take the punches and make things look like they have things under control. But there were issues in the PTU where missions were not there literally days before this patch went live. The event missions were not there, as well as others. And this has persisted into live after they had come up with a fix for that. So I just don't believe what is being said at the moment, and I think there's just an issue that they have to figure out, and whatever that issue, they haven't figured out yet. That's all. Could be something simple, could be something really complicated. Don't know. They're not saying anything anymore. They took the rest of the weekend off, clearly, or they've been working hard on a fix this weekend, and maybe it'll be deployed on Monday. We'll see. But I just got to say, I'm sick and tired of Jared letting us know 2 weeks ago of the day this patch was going to come out. And no matter the state of things, the patch rolls out, and then everyone gets mad at them. And then they look like surprised as to why we're upset. Like, grow up, take responsibility, and stop stop doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's fucking stupid. And that's it. Sorry. I'm getting really annoyed. It's the same. We've had how many patches this year? And it's been the same thing every time. It's just getting dumb.
Yeah.
Just do better. Yeah. Just do a little better. Not crazy better. Just do a little better each time. Mm-hmm. Get better. We're not seeing you get better. So we're getting annoyed with you. That's it.
Yeah.
I've ranted enough. I'm not going to I got to give you some time. I've said
so
too much.
The media came out this week.
Who cares? Does anyone care?
Yeah,
I heard it's bad.
I don't really care. I do like that they're like, we talked about it when they like first. Oh no, we actually haven't really talked about it because I think the behind the ships
was while we were away.
I think so. But either way, like I like that they're using the Mantis again because I think it's a cool chassis. But I don't really care about it. It's not my kind of fighter. The ad was cool. That's sort of where I'm at. Yeah. The price was about what I expected it would be, which is
expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see somebody in Twitch chat saying don't expect new patches to be bug free. No, I don't. I expect them to make their processes better. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. Is it isn't
also it's not like a bug free problem. It's a what's it?
It's like literally corporate culture, I think. Honestly,
it is. But it's like I'm more specifically saying like this isn't just a bug. It's the like I cannot play, and I can't remember what that's called.
Game breaking, or whatever.
It is like literally game breaking of like new content, and that obviously sucks. Everyone wants to do the new content, you can't because of XYZ. So then, when it does get fixed in 3 weeks' time, no one does it because
you can't even do Wicklow. You can't do most of the Wicklow missions because you can't get the what is it called? Patrol missions. Because big change that we might not have talked about is patrol missions now drop. Like I think they have ace pilots a little bit more often, and ace pilots 50% of the time will drop a pristine medal. I don't know if a lot of people know that 50% of the time an ace pilot will drop a pristine medal, and they fix the ace pilots so they don't disappear. So, but you can't get the missions to find out, and you can't progress in Wicklow on a lot of things because that's a big part of a lot of the recipes. So it seems like this overarching mission system bug that happened very late in the process, and instead of going, whoa, we probably shouldn't push this live, they put it live on the date they set weeks before they ran into this issue. And that's what I'm being critical about. I'm not being critical about the patch being buggy. Being critical about their internal choices that are dumb. Stop being dumb. Please. It's so frustrating.
Some non-bug related things I want to talk about with the event itself. And these are some mini criticisms about it. So I love that they included mining. Big fan of that into the event because I enjoy doing that. I enjoyed during Safer Stanton doing mining and doing salvage to actually like work towards the goal. So mining to work towards the goal is great, but I feel like I'm being shafted because I don't get paid anywhere near as much versus if I just did the cargo.
I don't care.
The speed of doing the cargo is way better. And so it's like, it's just weird that I'm not incentivized.
What do you mean by paid? Like UEC or?
Yeah, like actual, well, money, but as well as like the amount of time invested is a lot faster if you do cargo, right?
Yes. If it works.
And that's weird because like to put like all the comparisons in, like a 120 SCU ship or like 150, 200 SCU ship, most of those are the same price, if not cheaper than like a mole, which can get, 96 SCU of cargo when you're mining. So at best, you can get like 96 SCU of corundum. That's not realistic. You'll have less than that, but at best you can do that. That'll take half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how lucky you are with your rocks. And in that time, you could probably do 2 to 3 like 120 SCU cargo missions.
Especially if you count the like loading of the refinery job and then the trip to haul it and all that. It's a process. Best part though is it, guys, word of advice, if you're gonna go mining, choose a ship that can hold everything that you're feeling like moving and send it to the ship. Don't send it to the freight elevator from your refinery. If you send it to the freight elevator, they will be 4 SCU boxes. If you send it to the ship, it will be the maximum size box possible.
Yeah, good.
Okay, use your brains.
So there's like, even though like it being mining is like incentive enough for me to want to do it, but it feels weird that it's like you're offering me this, but it's worse, kinda. So a couple of things that I would have liked to see is more materials than just these 3. So, it being corundum, tungsten, and copper, I believe.
Good choice there.
Is like cool
on the materials.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like it's useless. At the moment, it's useless material. So it's like cool that we have to actually get some of this useless material. But it would be interesting if like you also took Bexelite and you gave me a little payout for it, or you also took gold and you gave me a little payout for it, right? That would sort of more incentivize me doing that. That would be cool. I also would have liked to see, and I will immediately have an argument against this that I'll mention afterwards, but I also would have liked to see for this event too, like they've all these fauna that we've gotten over the last 2 years constantly talking about medical implications that they have, and not being a part of this event is really weird. Why are we not getting Copian horns? Why are we not getting Valakar teeth, right?
Good point.
But chat made a good point at the time, which is duping has been a big problem with those kinds of items recently. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, look, until they get the duping properly fixed, I'm okay with that not being part of it.
Fair.
Other things that we can get that we mine from, or even just having like some trade items be available and expand the horizons a little bit would have been a little bit more interesting, I think.
That's fine, but I think the goal here was it's already an event that we've already done. We're just reskinning it. We're putting a little progress tracker bar, which I thought they did really well. Super readable, super easy to tell what's going on. Fantastic UI. That never happens in SC. So let's give them praise for that one as well. And I think I'm just happy that they went, hey, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. And they still managed to screw it up, but I think the intentions and the idea of let's keep things simple for this one was good. And they somehow managed to fumble still. And for me, it's the fumbling. It was due to setting a date again. But I would caution to be like, let's make it more interesting and make it more in depth and all that stuff. Let's have them do something well once and then ask them to add more depth to it. Right. And that's where I'm at. Like, just keep it simple, man. They didn't even take all the ore out of the shops. There's some shops around there that you can buy some of these things from. So keep that in mind as well. They did not get them all. But they probably will by next week.
Yeah.
So yeah. Trying to think of what else. I mean, we didn't talk much about the meteor still. Oh yeah, Roadmap Roundup.
There's just not much else to talk about the meteor. It just is a medium ship. It has a lot of gun.
I have no intentions of using it. Yeah, so I don't.
Yeah, neither. But yeah, there was the roadmap, which was pretty short, but there was some little sweet parts to it that I'm very excited about. So first off, they talk about the Vault laser sniper again.
It's relevant though.
I think it was last talked about, I think, in the monthly report.
No, I think it was in the last roadmap roundup. It is.
Okay.
You could see this card has received a new description because it didn't really have one.
All right.
And then I had shown us the old description from many, many months ago from Niku. That differs kind of from this one, where I'm a little confused. I would love some clarification from Zach at some point on the forums, where it is apparently, like, the old description was it's an AO3 combined with a... What's the gun that has two barrels? Scalpel.
Yeah.
I did the sound of it. I couldn't think of the name of it, so I'll do the sound. It's supposed to be like those two combined. And this is not that because it's a charge rifle. So now it's more like the other one. Arrowhead, yeah. But they're saying it automatically charges, and then you have to make sure that you don't mess with the heat. But is it automatic? Like, when does it overheat? Does it overheat while it's automatically charging? So am I just shooting the ground to reduce the charge and like giving my position away as a sniper? That's weird. So yeah, I have some questions on it, but I'm excited for it. I don't have the actual roadmap itself up. There should be a link.
It might just have a really low rate of fire.
No, it's supposed to have a high rate of fire.
Charging? Ah.
I'll go back to it, but it literally says it has a high rate of fire. Let's go.
Gameplay it'll be in, probably?
Oh, oops. No. Hello? Where would it be?
Weird.
Oh, weapons and items at the bottom. There you
weapons.
go. So that's how it looks. That's how it looks,
Yeah.
which I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of hyped because it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it does look cool. I think there was also... I would have to rewatch the patch trailer again, because I think they actually sneaked in someone
rapid fire precision of marksman rifle.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's like you could shoot it really fast, but it might overheat.
Yeah.
But then you have the charge, so you're going to be able to, like, basically the rapid fire will not one-shot someone's head, but the charge will.
Mm.
So I'm thinking that's kind of what it is, but I don't know. We'll have to see and hear more about it. And I'm excited for that. But yeah, let's go back to the thing that you're very excited about.
Yeah, I just love weather. Rain has changed a lot of like my perception of the game. And now we're getting snow, which is very cool. Microtech's my favorite planet. So I'm keen to see it in there. And it's, once again, it's not really gonna, at least not when it's introduced, it's not gonna change your actual like gameplay very much. But yeah, it's been cool. It certainly helps
Rain was
with the
neat.
immersion of the game. Yeah.
Rain's been really immersive. The sound I thought was super awesome as well, not just the visuals. When the sound was muffled a bit more because it was really loud at one point. But yeah, I'm fine with this. I think it's cool. And I got a question for you. Do you think that we will get snow in other places than Microtech when this comes in?
Yeah, there are like other snowy places. So,
sure.
Not Lyria. Sorry, yes, Lyria.
Yeah,
maybe,
I think Lyria for sure.
That.
It does.
Yep. Selen and Yella don't have clouds, so probably not there.
Yeah, but there's ice on Yella, so maybe they can add clouds.
There's ice, but there's no. I don't think there's supposed to be atmosphere, and I assume that's where it'll come from, right?
Fair.
Pyro Bloom will have it. Pyro 3 has some icy, what do you call them, poles. What I would like
Terminus?
to see. Yes, that's what I was going to say. So Terminus is weird. It has a very strange atmosphere. I kind of want to see like really dirty snow rock up there as you're going around.
If Aberdeen wasn't hot, yellow snow.
Mm.
I am a child, and that's the first thing that came to my mind. I am a child in a man's body. Well, I'm kind of small, so kind of a child's body as well.
Yeah. But yeah, what Chad said, acid rain would be very, very cool on Aberdeen. But yeah, Microtech's obviously the place that would be kind of the best, just because there's more things to do in the snow areas there. There's just more locations. So yeah. Hopefully that all works. The one thing I want though is the actual like snow accumulation on your ship. If I park in the middle of a snowstorm, I want to get back to it, and actually, it doesn't have to do anything to the ship. I just want to see
shake it off.
Right?
I want to shake it off.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to see is a lot of games now that seasons are able to be done in engines like UE5 and things like that, is that there is a there must be some sort of trigger, like I am in this season, therefore these animals will show up, or these plants will show up, or something like that. And I think they talked about doing seasons in SC as well, and stuff like that. So when it is raining, when it is snowing, like for example, when it rains in Florida, well, I tend to see a lot more frogs, and I don't see the as many birds or as many iguanas. The iguanas go up in the trees and stuff during that time, and the ducks are out and stuff like that. So like certain animals like it and certain animals don't, and that would be cool over time as they add more creatures and things like that. Things that like rain, things that like snow.
Even like right now, you go to Microtech during a winter, and there's more tundra,
copian or something.
Copian. Yeah, just more tundra things than there are desert. Which today I found, just a little offshoot. I don't know why. Just a ton of desert cows in like green area of Microtech that made no sense.
Okay.
I don't know why the hell they were there. Yeah, that sort of stuff would be cool. And I do believe they talked about that. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before when they were showing the new like ground generation. I think it was the year before. They mentioned seasons quite a lot during that. So it seems to be in their long-term plans at some point.
Okay. And then just to end it, the stealth suit that we've seen quite a bit of over the last few weeks, they just are going to have it at Wicklow Emporium, which that doesn't mean that what I don't think is happening is them saying the only place you'll be able to get it is Wicklow Emporium. I think they're adding it to it so you'll have a skin for it at Wicklow Emporium.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'll get it. I don't know how it's going to work, but kind of excited to see if NPCs, snipers, are using the sniper stealth suit. And then you loot it from them. That would be cool. And still no mention of Tier 1. No mention of FPS radar, which I think a lot of us were hoping to see in 4.3. And given how 4.2.1 is going, keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple, and just let's have something somewhat cleanish.
Yep. I will say it also, with that roadmap, confirms for me that 4.3 is the August patch. Because by now, so far this year, by now they would have said that there was a .2 for coming next month. So
yeah, I think we'll find out for sure on Monday or Tuesday, which I think we can, if they have not changed some things internally to as a result of what's happened with this patch, they assume there's going to be an Evocati this week coming up. Yeah. Right. So for 4.3.
They were very quick on it last time.
Correct. And they have been, not even just last time, I think in general. I believe that's all I have on my list of things. Anything else come to mind before we go to callers?
I want to talk just a little bit more about the chart and like the why Hurston is winning.
Sure, I'll bring it back up.
That sort of stuff. So if you're a bit of a stats nerd, like I am sometimes, and you've been watching this, there's a couple of things I want you all to watch out for over the next few weeks to see what happens here, right? Because a lot of people are copiuming, saying that our Corporal Crusader can still win. A lot of people it's like, oh, it's 3 days, all this sort of stuff. So there's a couple of things. It is very likely that I am a Microtech person. I don't think they'll get there. But the first thing is, a lot of people, yes, will do all 4, so that they can get all the rewards. The thing is, though, the vast majority of people are going to do The reward that even those people are going to do the reward that they want first, right? The one that they want the most, they're going to do first.
Yep,
Which
I'm
implies
only doing
Hurston
Crusader,
is the
for
reward.
example.
Exactly. And that implies that the Hurston is the reward that most people want. Well, not most people, but the majority of these 4, I guess. So even though like these numbers will change a little bit, I don't expect Hurston to fall off first place really much at all. There is one exception, which is how many people that do want the Hurston first will continue to go for Hurston after they get the gear. So
I think it depends on the friction of the patch. Like if they fix things, they might continue, but I don't think people are going to continue in the current state.
Yeah.
As
much.
So
that's going to be a really interesting thing to watch. Is just like see how the like ratios change once everyone's got their rewards. Is like, well, how willing are you to do a mission that doesn't really matter as much anymore? And like, are the people who like Hurston the kinds of people that will continue doing it? Is something I'm curious about.
They seem like the type. Yeah, they do. But at the same time, I do think that the people who are finishing Hurston are starting to do microtech, are starting to like, you're starting to see things catch up where it was like overwhelmingly Hurston a lot more early. That as people have turned in, I think they're switching to the other ones, and we'll see things catch up. But I agree.
The ratio has actually further gone Hurston as the weekend's gone on.
Oh, so, not when I looked, but okay. It was like 10 times Hurston when I had looked. It was like crazy.
In general, the ratio has extended for Hurston.
Oh shit!
Like
okay,
pretty aggressively from like midday. Once again, my Friday, midday Friday until now.
There's also the reason, maybe if that's happening, there's also the reason of, okay, I know Hurston's going to win. I want to make sure I get the extra reward for the winner, which is the black suit. And I want to make sure I get that before I do the other ones, because I'm not going to get that extra thing. So if I'm dealing with all these problems and there's a situation where one does work, then I want to go for Hurston first to make sure I get everything. Right, the completion.
That is something I'd not considered actually. Which is also interesting. And then the one other was just like kind of interesting stat that came out over the course of the last few days as well was like, Crusader was getting absolutely dumpstered day one, and then when the hotfix came out, since then, Crusader have made a bit of a run for it and are now ahead of Arcorp.
Do you know why?
It's unlikely that they'll get to Microtech, but yeah,
it's pretty funny. Do you know why? If you were able to get the Orison intramission done, most other people didn't. So you actually had the entire mission list available to you to complete. So you could do it. And you like the missions were working for you because nobody else could do them. So people instead of doing their favorites started doing ones that they can actually do as well. Because like I think our org was like, all right, we're doing Microtech. And then we tried to do Microtech and there were no missions available. So I was like, dude, there's all these Crusader ones available. Let's just do Crusader. And that's what we started doing. And we were getting missions. So the turn-ins were just happening more often because of that. It's kind of funny.
But yeah, if this was a political race, they would have already called Hurston. So stop copying, everyone. Once again, I have a Microtech follow-up, but I think it's almost impossible that Hurston don't win at this rate. And we will see in a couple of weeks' time when it actually finishes.
Yep, that's why my second one has to be Hurston, because I do want the completion of the black suit, because I think it looks kind of cool. Also, they said that suit is a mining suit, by the way, but Zach said on, I think there's like this new Star Citizen PvP Discord thing, where Zach was in it, and he had mentioned that like we're not doing any of the visor stuff right now because we're not doing features. Like he's like, I like to be able to do it, but it seems like all of these armors are coming out without their visors on them. The sniper will be the same. It's probably just going to be a cool looking light armor for now.
Yeah, that's a shame, but
unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool looking, and hopefully it has some cool mining implications at some point.
Yep.
In 12 years. But yeah. I'm ready for callers if you are.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys want to call, because we do have some room still for some callers, make sure you go into the
Surprising.
Twitch chat and you go !podcast, follow the link, go into the green room. If you are over on YouTube, there should be a link in the description. And if you're watching the VOD, make sure you come in next week, pop in and have a chat.
Yeah, there's at least 3 spots available, which is unheard of for the show. So take advantage of it while you have it. Ready for the first caller?
Let's do it.
All right, let's bring it. Frosty.
Frosty.
Hello.
How are we going?
That's a
yeah, I mean, it's just daunting, this is, because I thought, yeah, we'll do it with the org, get it over and done with, and then I don't have to play anymore. But no, basically turns into a solo event. Yeah, so I mean, people going on about stability and all this stuff has got nothing to do with it. The stability is fine, server mesh is fine, whatever. It's just the functionality and the playability with the elevators and all that stuff. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like, they know these issues. They've known we've had like 1 or 2 events that have gone through, the freight elevators and all this stuff, but they still continue to use them in these events, and even so, they can still use them, but they just don't fix them. They know the issue. Even Zylo said, like, he even mentions, like I said, about streaming and all this stuff, but they continue to not fix it.
Yeah,
and we have to go through all of this stuff.
But the way he said it is like, oh, we did an investigation and we just found out these issues now, and it's just like, no, you didn't. No, you
knew all along.
didn't. No, you didn't. Chad McKinney left.
I think the wording was like,
that's it.
Our initial investigations, which, like, yeah, I'm sure your initial investigations were during PTU. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. PTU in what patch did freight elevators come out?
Wasn't it 318?
323, something like that, or whatever. Like,
wasn't it the crazy patch?
I don't remember. But
it was a late 3, yeah.
Yeah, your initial investigations in that patch showed the same issues. So, and you've never addressed them properly because you've just gone on to the next content, freight elevators are shipped, who cares? Oh, but oh wow, I could pull my Argo up it. Like, guys, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Also, you were right, it's 323. It feels like it was so much longer than that.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been just
because we've had a lot of patches. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of patches. That's been a cool part of the year. But if that is causing this many problems, maybe slow it down a little bit. Just a little bit. Get it right. If we don't get 11 patches and we get 10, if we don't get 11 and we get 9, that's way better than 4. But if the 9 are a lot better than the 11, who's going to complain? So,
but yeah, after this patch, I do not want to touch another box ever again.
Yeah, guys, Frosty and I were at the same freight elevator. One guy finishes his mission right in front of us, tries to put some boxes inside of it and put them down because he had 2 extra. And then Frosty couldn't bring up any cargo. And then I go and try to bring up 1 box. I bring up my 1 box and his cargo. Frosty's cargo in my freight elevator.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. So there's so many problems.
Yes, they need to fix that. To be fair, this is just a hit and miss for me for this patch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, like playing it. It's just the functionality of it. Going forward with like 4.3. I mean, yeah, it just depends on how that is with the underground stuff, which, it's PvE, it's whatever. But going forward, yeah, I don't think they should do another event this year like it is now until they fix the Outpost freight elevators.
Yeah.
And if they do, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why a lot of people are trying to stick to mining, because it's just the cleanest way to do it. It's just going to take longer.
Yeah. I haven't done mining yet. I don't know how fast it is with it, but
it's slow.
I'm near T3 with all of the cups anyway, so.
Okay. I mean, you're doing fine then.
Yeah. I will say on the, like, you won't play like this type of event again this year if they did it. I would say, like, if they did another event this year, I would rather them have another go at this.
Yeah, keep doing
and
this.
try to fix this, rather than, all right, Xenothreat 2.0, guys, and then it have all of its own issues that like they haven't worked on for years, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, yeah, but if they're able to actually fix these issues and run it again, that's fine. But if they choose to run it again and not even consider fixing these issues, then I'm just not going to play it.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
There's just no point.
No.
But yeah, that's all from me, really.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Frosty. No, there's nothing to say. Check you, man. Bye now.
Cheers. Yeah, bye.
All right, that was Frosty, and we're already bringing in FinalStorm. Final, can you hear us?
Final?
Yes, again. So it's the mute stream.
All good.
And if I go silent for a split second, I have two guardians hovering my 180 SCU on my Argo raft. So I'm nervous. They haven't moved for about 10 minutes while I've been waiting in queue.
Uh-oh. What's your experience has been? Or who are you going for? That's what we should say. Are you completing? Guys, everybody is low. I have everybody at 200%. I hear the complaints. So, Final, if you can get closer to your mic, maybe.
That's probably about as close as I can get.
All right.
That is a little better.
Yeah, it's better. And that's about as loud as I can get you. So
I'll turn up a little bit, but it might distort. That's all. Is that better?
Yes, perfect.
I'm Crusader.
Crusader, nice.
Been my home, so
yep. Same.
And I figured that when they actually do ship shops properly, Crusader ships will get a discount. I just think that all ship shops should be put somewhere, and I think a lot of them places that just sell everything will not sell everything at some point. So
yeah. So in the lore, there's like 2 locations that I would always expect to like sell everything, which would be R-Corp and Terra, right? Like the commercial districts of the UEE, right? And so I also imagine that, but
what about us?
We should be as well. But I'm saying, like, specifically, if you're buying ships from an NPC, those are the places I would expect to buy them from. And that's why when we were talking about the 5% thing, I just don't think it's going to work right, so I don't care about it as much.
Fair enough.
Well, I just think every ship supplier should have their own showroom. Like every ship that's out right now should be visible in the game where you can go and explore it. Because the little crappy ship shop and the models, half of the models are broken and don't work. So, like, you can't actually get a good feel of what the ship's actually like.
I'm going on the Argo wiki right now, just because I'm super curious. Like, where are they based out of? Now that you say that,
point,
doesn't say anything.
Well, yeah. So Crusader has the showroom, right? Which I don't think they've updated in a while because there's been some new Crusader ships since they did it, right? Yeah.
Argo is based out of Mars, apparently.
Oh, that's hype as hell, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, they'll need like a showroom at maybe at a space station or something.
Yeah.
That's still cool, though. Either way, I hope they do that for all suppliers. I just think you should be able to view every single ship, and it should be the distribution centers. Something like that would be perfect. You just, one of the suppliers is tacked onto the side, big shed. You can see everything. Some are outside.
But what about the dealer? Like maybe a dealership at Hurston? Like maybe Hurston should be like New Deal. Maybe has 2 manufacturers, and that's their default place there. Because like obviously Crusader makes ships, but R-Corp doesn't make ships. They make ship parts. So their shops should have maybe companies that they do business with regularly.
Yeah, well, Crusader's got theirs on show. I can't remember. Is it Area 18 that has the hammerhead, or am I?
No, that's
R-Corp. Yeah.
Lorville has it. Lorville has it.
Yeah.
Or even they should just be rotated. Like, surely it's not a big thing. They do it for IAE, and why can't they just rotate them ships so people can see different ones from time to time?
I have the answer. It's old tech. So the answer is like yes, they should do that.
Yeah.
But those have been in place for so long. It's probably like hard coded into the game to like, well, if we remove this, nothing in the game works anymore.
Yeah. Sky turns.
But that would be cool. I would love that.
Blue.
You could also like, you know how CIG love making money. Hey, every time you have a ship sale, oh look, all the test drives at New Deal and all the ships that are out at New Deal are the ships on the ship sale.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, the event, obviously, I was a bit late to the party because of work. So, yeah, I only really started probably yesterday afternoon. I was pretty lucky. I got all of the basic ones done because I think an org mate just found a server for the one I was missing. I think it was the Microtech one. Yep. So I got that done. But other than that, it's been an absolute nightmare. Pad ramming, elevators not working, people just throwing your cargo off into oblivion. But at the same time, it's probably like the most interactive event that I've done where people help each other. Like, just I know it's just loading cargo, but you find most of the time you get to a pad, you'll just help the guy load they'll help you load yours.
Yeah, but you're not doing it because you're nice. You're doing it to get that guy out of there.
People.
Yeah, but that's still a cool interaction.
Yeah.
Regardless of the motive.
Yeah.
The armor zones need to be removed. There just needs to be massive turrets in the area, and if you hurt somebody, they just shoot you. Or keep the armor zones, and scraping lasers should be able to be used. And any ship that's there longer than 3 hours, just it powers down and it can be scraped and munched by a freaking reclaimer or a vulture or something.
I mean, what are your feelings about like what I'm saying about just have instance hangars at these locations?
I've really been enjoying the people coming and going and seeing all the different ships, skins, and all that sort of stuff. Well,
You'll see them coming and going.
More alive. Yeah, but you don't see them running around doing stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is certainly a gameplay benefit to having it be open and like that being interesting. So I would want a middle ground. I do want more freight elevators. Oh god. More freight elevators inside instance hangars at some of these locations. But don't replace all of them that way, right?
Okay.
They're too small on the planets. You've got these massive spaces, but you've got the world's smallest elevator. It doesn't.
Well, the reason is because they want you. Those areas have, I think, fairly low volume, decent pay, or the best pay, whether it's buying or selling at those locations, because they're trying to limit you, and they're trying to make ships like the Aurora, ships like the Hull A, and things like that viable to work out of those locations. So again, if you're going to design the game and you want to create these restrictions, the only way to do it is to say you can't land out here and have them go inside. But I do respect your feelings of like, it is cool to see people flying around. But what I will say is it is not cool, and I think you're addressing that as well with the scraping thing, to come up to an area and have it filled with a bunch of ships, whether abandoned or not. It just looks...
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the owner of that facility would want that to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's parking lots in the real world for a reason, right? To keep things organized.
Yeah. I did like one suggestion that I had from chat that I had earlier from my chat that might work, but also presents its own issues. So you get to keep these areas, but you could do impounding there as well, right?
Yeah.
So the one problem with that is it's now that there is still too much demand in like these single locations. So if you start doing impounding, the impound timer would have to be like super short, and then it's like,
and if it's super short,
I was just about to get my last one there.
Exactly.
Whoops,
you run out of time when you're moving 4 SCU boxes because they limited everything to 4 SCU so people can move with almost all the cargo ships, which is obnoxious when you have to move 2,800 SCU to finish this.
I think impounding could be an option they could explore, but they would have to do something else. But the something else would just be use some of your other locations. You have so many.
Well,
that's not a problem too. Like it feels like
I think they
feels
did.
like you're going everywhere.
like allegedly distro centers are a part of these. But because of the limited bug problem of where you're getting the missions, you're not seeing them at these other locations as well. Do not quote me on that. That is from Twitch chat. I have been wronged way too many times by those clowns, but apparently at those locations you do sometimes get pickups at distros. So
okay,
don't know though.
I'll keep trying to move along, but. Sure. The other thing too was the cargo versus mining. Like I've done a bit of mining as well when I couldn't get much done. I think I got 3 SCU done in 2 hours, so I'm pretty sure I could beat that doing mining.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant mining. I was like, holy shit, you're bad at that. Maybe don't mine.
No.
Rocked, Mike.
So, like, if you're actually like mining has more steps to the process. You have to go out and mine it. Wherever you want, you got to find the right ore, so there's time gone there. You have to mine the rock, you have to take it back, you have to refine it, you have to then do the cargo mission. If you're doing these missions that they keep giving, and it's the same for the hauling missions. Like I'm just not a fan of the just go here, pick something up that's no effort and just drop it off. Like if you've done it mining by hand or by your it's uncontracted ore. It should be worth like 3 points or something. So
that's dude. They didn't do points this time. Like that was kind of one of the differences between what they did before and what they're doing now. It's strictly SCU where we had points based on certain things before. That's an interesting thing that you point out as well.
Because then it would you could go mining, and even mining in a group could be viable. Now I'm not up I actually like how they've done it, because if I said, if Mike told me to supply him with 100 SCU and I went of Quantanium and I said, yep, no worries. And then I go back to my shed and call 37 of my mates and go, hey guys, we need this Quantanium for this guy. Come here. And then we hand it to Mike and he literally gives everyone a pin on the chest, like all 37 of us, but he actually made the contract with me. So to me, it makes sense that you're only getting the reward solo and not as a group, because at the end of the day, they don't give a shit how you get it to them, whether you use 100 people or yourself. They only really care that like your company, yourself, your own entity, whatever you are, is the one that actually supplied it to them.
I think that's fine. Sense. Like it can make sense, but like, why can they not make it make sense for me to do it in a group, right? They can make it make sense for me to do it in a group and make it.
If they made the mining more valuable, even worth 4 points, people would go in the mole. You'd have full moles of people out there mining. You would, people could still prospect a mine, but at the same time, there probably should be larger missions. I don't know, like go take down a capital ship. It's loaded full of cargo. It's got a heap of heavy fighters, and yes, it's an Idris full of, and it's got like 1,000 SCU on it. But if they I'm just saying, if they do it the current way they've got it. So if you went out there with 5 of your mates, yes, you're going to kill that ship, move 1,000 cargo, and you'll get 200 credits each if it's divided. Still, it's just the missions are too small.
I wonder if the swap to SCU, because like the point system made a lot of sense. I wonder if the swap to SCU was because it was easier to track and then have in the journal display.
Maybe
is a possibility. You also just maybe come up with a great idea that some people will hate. So I'll say I hope they do it the next event, which is like a global mission that is also tied to this. So you guys can go and do this cargo. You can go and do your mining. You can go and do the bigger version of this cargo, or you can go do
contested.
Is it money for nothing? No. What was the big salvage one?
Oh my god!
Like you pay 150K to get.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it now.
Wake.
Wake of Disaster. Yeah, have a Wake of Disaster, right? That you can also, like, if you want to you can get a bunch of guys together, go and do that one. Hey, you'll probably be fighting off other people. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You've still got your regular cargo missions. You've still got your regular combat missions, whatever. Would also be a really great way to like just beef it up a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just pray. Like, I'm a long time MMO player, and I'm a bit of a grinder when I do play them. So my thoughts and prayers are that this is a test run for something like this to be permanent in the game forever. Because if you have always got something to work towards in an MMO, like, you know, they could whack, Christ, 3 zeros on the end, and, you know, this be a permanently thing that you can just do forever, and it's got indefinite rewards. You know, and on rewards too. I think they give us way too much for what we're doing. Like, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of events for 1.0, and we're going to have thousands and thousands of items in our inventory because we've done everything.
Yeah.
But I just think,
that's a
like,
lot of hanger items on your RSI.
They just should. Right? The quests they've got, it's open now. I think that's absolutely perfect, and it should be something that's around permanently, and tied to like reputation. It could actually give you a little point of reputation if you donate something to them. Yeah. And you know, when you donate 5,000 SCU, yes, you might get some crappy little pistol. But then it goes to 10,000. They'll give you a skin for that pistol. Then, you know, it might go to 20,000. But it's just something that will just scale quite massively that, you know, you just achieve over a long period of time.
Yeah, you're basically describing currency in other forms, right? Traditionally, reputation is kind of like that, right?
It's just... Yeah, since I've been playing, everything is just events. You just do it for a little bit, forgotten about.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about.
That's like the grind doesn't make sense. It's okay if it was forever, sort of thing.
The original way they were talking about dynamic events, and this one, I am an old enough backer that they had not started dynamic events yet. Let's go. I've been there since the start of dynamic events. When they originally started talking about dynamic events, especially some of the ones like Jump Town, the original Ninetales Lockdown, now Blockade Runner, though I think that went back to the drawing board after that got played because they haven't talked about it once. And events like this, their original idea was these would be essentially testing grounds for repeatable events, things that just would happen in the verse, either dynamically or, like, hey, it's the 3rd week of September, this happens, right? Because this event does feel like it is an improvement of the one that we had earlier this year, I would imagine that is the case. They are trying to work on, hey, we have a dynamic event idea that is just, we need X type of cargo. What do we tie to that? How do we fix it? How do we make it work? And then in the future, you can run it any which way. You can theme it any which way, right? The mechanics of it become the same. So I would not, like what you said, I would expect to happen. It is not I want them to do this. This sounds like that is exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And tacking onto that as well, I'm not sure if any of you have been to Pyro. I haven't myself, but a couple of my mates have gone over and there's just no missions at all. And I mean, they're not even a part of it. It's scary over there. Again, it should be worth double the hand in if you can get it safely there, because all these little losers in there, Guardians and Gladiuses, will be sitting at the portal going, yay, I get to blow people up and not take their cargo.
It doesn't necessarily have to be worth double. If you want to keep in the idea that these missions are like a demand thing, right? It's like, oh, I go to Stanton, I can't get the missions because everyone's taking them. Yeah, well, people aren't taking them in Pyro because it's a little bit more dangerous, right? And then you have the opportunity to go do that if you want, right?
And that's why the pads are so bad, because the other gameplay loops are not here. So it's just amplified shitness, to be honest. Like, that's, yeah.
All right, we've almost had you on for 20 minutes. So, like, last
I better go. Last couple of things is the bloody Reclaimer. I mentioned this last time. God tier ship. Buff it again because it's amazing. And I used to get 24 SCU boxes in that elevator before they fixed it. So I'm glad they've made it wider.
Apparently, it's a bit better.
I don't have any more slogans for you this time. You stupidity was last time, and just
epic.
Just shaking my head.
That has been epic, and that has rang through since you said it all over. It's been pretty sick. All right, bro.
All right, boys.
Catch you.
Appreciate it, mate. Have a good one.
The year of stupidity. All right, the next caller is PinkHusky. We now have so many callers that we're definitely not getting to all of you guys, just so you know. Okay, so we'll let you know who we're where we're doing the cutoff when we're ready for it. All right, PinkHusky. Hello.
Hello, Mike. Hello, Croncy. So 4.21. Oh my god. The event is not too bad, except there are flaws for sure, as we've seen. Like the almost 48 hours without the intro mission. And right now there is nothing about combat, the recovery one, and the defend missions. They're not there. It's all cargo hauling and mining right now on the servers.
Yeah, where the obvious intention of this was to be like, play it your way, like FPS missions, ship combat missions, cargo missions. You can do mining if you want. You can pirate if you want. Like their intentions were so good, but execution, as always, a little less.
Falling short.
Yeah,
and there was the issue about the essentially the intro mission. Well, we saw that issue not too long ago with another type of mission, and it's like as if someone doesn't learn from their past mistake somewhere in the team.
Yeah,
I don't know whom, but they got to have QC, QA essentially be a little bit more tougher. And once you have seen an issue before, you should actually check for that in future sweeps. It shouldn't come back ever again. One of the
I wouldn't say it shouldn't come back ever again, because there is 70 years of tech history proving that incorrect, but it shouldn't come up back at the rate it does in Star Citizen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do know you did speak a little bit about the distribution center earlier, Mike. And personally, all of the large one and some medium one should be over at the distro centers.
Okay.
While the smaller hauling mission and maybe most of the medium one would be Outposts.
Yeah.
Because it makes much more sense.
Now
the foresty...
Or for the places that maybe don't have distribution centers, the L1 stations near those planets, perhaps. You could do something like that.
I also just don't understand why they never put distribution centers on some moons. That always felt weird to me. Well, it's not like the moons are too small, you know.
No, I don't think it's a size thing, but do you remember how bad performance was at those times when they had first put them in? I think that was the reason why. I mean, if you go look at the roadmap, it does look like distro centers are coming back and they're going to Pyro. I mean, I was wondering why there were none in Pyro, and the ASD facilities appear to be underground. I don't know if they're small bunkers or if they're large distro centers. They look pretty big. So we may see those added around a little bit more, but
sure,
don't know.
Yeah, and also for the Outposts, I do believe they need a big overhaul because the landing pads are limited, especially with the elevators. And also, since they are in an armistice zone, because there's so many ships littered around at those outposts, sometimes you got to park away from the elevator. And if you're using a Henel tractor beam and you're off the pad, or you bring the crates off the pad because you don't have a direct line of sight with your ship, and you could not, put them inside your ship, you cannot use your tractor beam off the pad.
It's kind of a pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just a pain. It's not even possible, like you're saying.
Yeah, it's impossible to use the NL1, and if your ship doesn't have a tractor beam, then you're screwed.
Yep. Pretty funny. Again, I don't expect them to play their game a lot, but you gotta know your game, guys. You gotta know it. And I know it's in depth. And to be honest, maybe it's not fair for me to say that because I forgot about that. But it's also not my job. Well, it kind of is my job to know that stuff, but not as much as it's their job, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I just came across one issue also with those freight elevators. There was someone loading up a raft, so probably around 196 and 180 SCU to load onto his craft. I was over at another elevator, but I could not even load the 6-8 boxes that I would need onto the elevator and bring it up. It would say that it was overloaded.
Yep. And then eventually that will fix itself somehow. So I just experienced it where like Frosty, who had just called, was like, I was at the other freight elevator on the other side of the pad. It was not working. And then we filled up his ship. I replaced where he was, and I looked across the way. Some guy's loading full thing over there. I had people in Twitch chat say that they abandoned the mission and then regathered it at the same location, and then the freight elevator worked. So it's like, what is causing this?
Something else has gone on there.
Yeah.
And that's why, essentially those small outposts would need an overall of changing those pads probably into hangars. And sure, you could limit them to small and medium hangars only, and in some places may have large, not extra large. But
I mean, that's distro centers. Limit. Yeah, that's what distro centers are for. Did we lose you? Oh, sorry.
No. No, it's just that's about what I had in my mind right now. So
yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Pink. Cool. It's we're all feeling the same, and it's just I want to be very clear. Like, if they address this Monday, Tuesday, I don't really have that many complaints.
Yeah,
because otherwise, the servers are performing fine. Stability is there, so I'm not too worried. It's just nitpicks in gameplay, essentially, because of how the event is being run in some ways.
Yeah, and I don't know if nitpicking is fair, because it's like, hey, do better. Where nitpicking is like picking off like very tiny things. I don't think we're picking out tiny things here. I think we're picking out really big and obvious things that should have been figured out. But yeah, fair nonetheless. But Pink, thank you so much. We'll let you go, and we appreciate your call. All right,
have a good day.
Be good.
Catch you, mate.
All right, and our next one is TwiceFun. Hello, TwiceFun, if you can hear us.
Twice.
Yeah.
I'm just moving everybody, because if we get mega quick calls, you never know who's going to make it in.
True. So let me quickly jump in. Yeah. I wanted to wrap things up because I haven't been here for 2 months, and I said I will be a regular, so second time caller after 2 months. And basically, you Mike said about some friend of yours that won a Pokemon championship in 2003, right? A World Championship or something like that. Yeah. So I checked, and it's actually it started 2004. So
maybe it was 2004. I don't know. His name's Alex.
They were all Japanese, so I'm wondering. 2005 actually were all American, so
maybe it was 2005.
Maybe one of them. Yeah.
He's not lying though. I've seen the proof. He's got the cards and everything.
No worries. Just some history.
Yeah,
that's because I checked. It was like 2003 was like too early for me a little bit. But yeah, I haven't been for 2 months, and I'm actually glad that I haven't been here, because I think that this 4.2.1 actually adheres to the second thing that I had on my list about the design flaws that are more fear-inducing than bugs or pledge store decisions. At that point, we talked about the flight blitz, right? So what you, Mike, said at the beginning of the stream, I think, or at the beginning of the podcast, that the programming bugs are not that impactful, right? The design flaws, the things that how they approach things. This is, for me, a very, very bad sign of how they will approach the development of the game, right? So back then I had some examples about 4.2 with the Valikar event, because like there were no audio cues, there were no there was like no one hit death on slamming by the worm. There was no real threat actually to that event. People were like going there and doing their thing. So the way they implemented this was like, okay, this is another set of
just quickly, you said there's
flows.
no one hit death from the Valakar, which is not true.
Maybe now, but back then I remember a few examples of like, okay, they slammed and people haven't been dying. I think even you guys experience it.
But also
in PTU, yeah, but like in live, I'm getting murdered.
Okay. Yeah.
Also,
maybe
like,
that was the thing.
There's like a lot of callers in line. The topic is 4.2.1 and the state of it.
Yeah.
Can we stick to that, or we'll move on to somebody else, and you'll be more regular when there isn't such a pressing topic where you can just talk about whatever you want, if you don't mind.
No, for sure. With the 4.2.1, I have like a very good experience with the holding contrast, and I think that that's split about the design flows, right? They are changing them and they are improving each patch, right? But they're still introducing new things that still have those design flows, right? So those community events like the new event are very cool, especially if they have progress with them and if they have long-lasting results. Like that's awesome. That's awesome. I think that's a really good design at the beginning, right?
I think the best thing about it is to see how much stuff is moving. That has been the most fascinating and cool thing. Is like there is activity happening. I saw some people say it's fake numbers, maybe, but I don't think so. And I kind of think that's been the coolest part about it, is seeing the progress that everybody is making, not just yourself. That's what's cool about community stuff.
Is great, right? Yeah. And the UI is great, as you said, right? So there are some things here and there that are hopeful. That they are actually able to perform and deliver, but I don't think, like in my wrap up, I wanted to just a little bit maybe disagree with you, Mike, on like this giving feedback approach that you have, because as you tend to say, like we shouldn't be saying what should be done. We should be saying that we like it or not, and they know how to do it. But they actually let us down so many times that's
you might
why
be
I disagree
right.
with that. Right?
Yeah, you might be right at this point. I might be giving up on that idea. That might have been an old thing with I don't know, when the culture at the company was a little bit different, more experience or something, whatever the. I don't disagree anymore.
See,
cool.
I still think that, mostly just because I think
Start with what's fun. Like, start with what you don't like.
Yeah.
Players you gotta put your game knowledge in there.
Players know what they like. I don't think they know how to get there. The suggestions from players are almost all the time absolute batshit crazy. Doesn't necessarily mean the stuff the CRG come up with is not also batshit crazy. But I do not trust players to come up with good ideas for how the game should work. I just trust what they know they like and what they know they don't like, right? And so that's the feedback that I like from the players,
right? Because I think with the CSM that you mentioned, Mike, it's a little bit different. They are dedicated and chosen ones, right, to actually give the ideas to the company, and then they have to listen with the stuff that we are saying that we don't like.
To be specific, what CSM will do is CCP will come to them and say, "Hey, we're thinking of doing like XYZ," and then the CSM can say, well, like, here's why we like the idea. Here's why we don't like the idea. Here's how we can abuse the idea, or here's how we think people will abuse the idea based on XYZ, right? So it's not necessarily that they're coming up with the idea. It's more that they are giving CCP feedback about their ideas, if that makes sense.
And
to make that better.
They're also
it's
being
more
voted.
Of a QA on that.
They're also being voted in because they are overwhelmingly supporting a piece of the community. So like you would have a Red Monster SC be on the CSM again, probably not because he's a creator, but I would vote for him as the mining guy or El Guapo or something like that, right? Like those would be the people that you would vote as the mining people, because they understand it in and out, and they're going to be able to tell them what the flaws are, what's good, what's not, and people overwhelmingly would agree with the way that those people tackle that thing. But like CSM has third party stuff and VR. Like there's people that get voted in that are from all walks of life of the game. It's a completed game. There's a lot more going on than this one. But again, it's not about they have to listen or they have to do what we say or whatever. In that case, if you were on it, it's just, guys, it just gives you the opportunity so they don't trip over their own feet, or like that meme where the bike and putting the stick in it. They've been putting the stick in the bike wheel every single patch for 10 years, guys. 10 years. From a design standpoint.
Then that's where the feedback comes in, right? So when they would feedback of one of the features that they will be implementing, then we wouldn't have the issue with the freight elevators on some remote locations, right? So that would be immediately squashed down to something like, okay, don't do that, please. And we would avoid that. So just to then wrap this up, you, Mike, used this. Use the same, do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. And I actually used that sentence to some of my colleagues some time ago, and he said, okay, just throw a die and you will have different results, right?
Yeah.
So I actually backtraced what's the original quote, and that's actually, I think it's more impactful in that original quoting. It's actually from a book about addiction in the late 60s, I think. And it was, don't make the same mistakes over and over again and expect different results. So basically that's the definition of like improvement. Don't expect that if you have been doing mistakes all over and the same mistakes and then expecting that something different will happen. So just those things about the upcoming patch. Hopefully they will learn, and it will be a year of stability, right?
It's a year.
It's a half a year for now, right? So half a year of stability, maybe.
Again, I tried to point out at the beginning. There's lots to be happy about. But it's hard to be happy about those things at the moment because you're trying to get one thing done and it's impossible.
Yeah.
One last question: when Squadron 42?
I don't know. We'll
tomorrow,
find out. October, we'll find out. I imagine.
You think it's gonna be released?
No. Release date probably. That's what I think.
I think we'll either hear about it at CitizenCon or, we'll hear something about Squadron at CitizenCon surely, but we'll either hear about it at CitizenCon or they'll wait until like game reveal season next year, which is like February, I think. So.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Cool.
Stay cool.
All right, Twice.
Thank you.
Thank you, TwiceFun.
Take care.
Bye.
I want to mention something, Mike, because that reminded me. So I went to, when I was playing today, I went to the clinic, and you know how, it's the regen crisis, so there's all the NPCs yelling at the clerks there about like, oh, you ruined me. One of the guys yelled, and I swear I had never heard this before. He said something akin to, I know how this works. You can't advertise this and then release it. You wouldn't. And I was like, it's patch time. Everything's broken. This is like the perfect thing for an NPC to say about like, hey, you wouldn't. I think it was even like you wouldn't do it if it didn't work. It was something like that. So absolutely amazing.
I can't. All right. Well, we're going to bring in our next caller, Aleksu, you're currently muted, so just try to get unmuted and mute the stream. We're bringing you in. That's pretty funny.
It's just so perfect, right? It really
is.
It's just amazing. How are we doing, Aleksu?
Hello. Thank you for having me on. This is my first time on here, so really excited.
Welcome
on. My question is kind of more about like the testing that goes behind it, because like I'm pretty sure I think it was like a year ago at the start of the year, they mentioned something about like they were restructuring how they were testing things, and when they found an issue, they take it back to the start, and then kind of feed it through this chain again. And I feel like with coming into this patch and then you start experiencing like I watched one of Mike's videos about the missions, like yeah, everyone has to wait at the moment just for one mission and everyone's fighting over it, and then you go to these landing pads, you go to these freight elevators and then they're not working, and I'm thinking like why is this being fed into live instead of going along this test chain? Going along this test chain, like someone has not kind of looked at it and gone, oh, why? Or like the impact factors, like why is there not someone that's writing up a list of like impact factors? Because I know like in the test servers beforehand, there's not going to be like the amount of players that you have on live. There's going to be different. It's a different environment to how people play on live. Surely there's someone that's going, okay, what are the impact factors that will have an effect on this? Because yes, freight elevators in this test server might be working now. Would it still work if we have, thousands of players going to the same location? So
I think that's exactly what they are doing. However, you're missing one step that CIG is doing, which is then they are taking those factors. They are going like, what's the risk of this release versus our commitment to have a patch a month. And then they're saying, all right, well, we'll do it, right? Like we think that the risk is low enough, or that we think the experience will be good enough, or that we think we can fix the stuff fast enough that we can push the patch. And that expectation probably, and kind of provably for the most part this year, with like every single patch being bad for at least a week, some much longer, is not working from a player perspective.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a very average player. I have played since I think back when like Port Olisar was around, and I watched a Frankie on PC video, and that's what got me into the game. And then throughout the years, a patch would come out, and I'd be like, "Oh, this is really fun," and I'd play with my friend. And then another patch would come out, and we just kind of fall off. And it's just been like that a lot. And I keep up to date with the game and I keep informed. And then before 4.0, like last year Christmas, I was really enjoying it. Then 4.0 came out, and I think another patch came out, and then I was like, oh, what? I don't want to play again. And then it's really bumpy. And I think I was enjoying it before this patch, and then this patch has come out, and I'm loving this event. I really want to get these skins and be able to do it, but at the same time, like I'm sitting here waiting for minutes or ages just so I can get this cargo hauling thing done, because there's no other combat missions showing up on the list. And at the same time, it's like I don't want to go into a game just to sit there and waste my time, because I have a job where I have to work 6 days. And then luckily I've got 4 days coming off, and then I can do a bit of grinding then. But now I'm looking into those 4 days off that I've got, which is, valuable time to me. And then I'm going to go into this game and be like, am I just going to be sitting around for ages just waiting for this mission so I can get these skins? I'm sure hopefully there's going to be like a hotfix that comes out, or a patch that comes out soon that can fix this. But this is the kind of stuff that every single patch is something that they can look at and be like, this is an impact factor. Is it going to impact a portion of our player base? And every single time there's a patch and something can quite easily or be fixed, or it's something that surely can easily be seen, and they choose to go ahead with it anyways. And then this is why maybe there's people that will just not play that patch.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Aleksu. Because you've also said you've been playing for quite a while, right? The content, especially this year, that has come out, assuming everything worked, which is a big assumption, and we're living in a crazy fantasy land. But assuming everything had worked, and hopefully you've had experiences where at least some things have worked.
Yeah,
Do you think the content itself has been improving?
Oh, definitely. Like you said, if I assumed that everything worked, because there's something new coming out, and especially like lore wise, especially like lately, a subtle change that I think is very good is the loading screens now have like these news pages, and it's like lore that you can read, and then because instead of sitting there and going on my phone and checking like Instagram or something, I'll actually sit there and I'll start reading it, and then I'm starting to get up to date with like the lore and the things going on in the game, and that is more interesting. It kind of pulls me into the game more, and it makes me more invested into want to play. So
yeah,
I think when something comes out and then it's like a new event and there's this lore behind it, and you feel like you're you're in this game, you're in this universe, and it does feel really good. And yeah, I think if things just did work, because I'm not here just coming on here just to do cargo hauling. This patch beforehand, me and my friend, we were trying out mining.
Well, some people
exactly, yeah. We were just trying out like mining, and then I'd be like, I love my Hornet. I'm not going to pay £170 for it, so I'll just pay it in game, and I'll just grind for it. And that's a different kind of game loop. We tried different things, and that's the one thing I do kind of enjoy. I don't know, a little bit off topic, I don't know why this event has kind of branched out into Pyro. It's already been mentioned throughout this. You've mentioned it with some other callers before previously. Pyro, that'd be so cool, because as an average player, like, I'm kind of scared to go into Pyro. And when it first came out, me and my friend were like, "Oh, are you ready? Are you ready?" Like, we were really excited, because it's kind of it's a whole different environment to what Stanton is, and there's more risk when you go in there. And so then I think when we have like content like this, and it's just kind of staying in Stanton, which a lot of people already know what Stanton is like. A lot of improvements could have been made, or there's things that could have been changed, but I'm still enjoying it, as long as they kind of fix this soon.
I think there's plenty of reasons to go to Pyro with Lazarus and the CZs. That content was done. It was not an event, and it is stuff that exists there, and there's reasons to stay there. So yeah, I have no yes, this current moment, it's like I want to do this and I want to complete it, but you can also just be like, I don't care.
Yeah,
don't care. I'll go do something else.
True.
Right. And again, somebody types in chat about like mining's pretty good in Pyro, so you could do the mining there, and you'll be pretty clear. But
okay,
yeah. Anything else, Aleksu, before we let you go?
That's it. Thank you for all the content that you put out as well. I really enjoy watching it. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it a ton, Aleksu.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right. And get ready for the next one, who is Cancel. Hello, Cancel.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Howdy.
All right, so Alexi actually covered a lot of what I was going to say, that once the other missions get fixed, it should relieve pressure on those outposts.
Hopefully.
I thought that the mission where you can recover the ship and fly it back was awesome. Like, that's such a cool set piece of content.
They thought, and like that was like where we're giving them a hard time about like they don't play the game, they don't know the game. They kind of understood it with that specific situation, right?
Yeah, which is why I brought up the question to Aleksu of like the actual content.
Yeah,
the idea, like the ideas of the content have been good. It's just it doesn't work.
Yeah, minus the time gated rewards, because that's just with stuff like this where things bug out and they're tough to get. Like it's disheartening.
Yeah,
the content sense. I mean, we've come a long way since grabbing whiskey and cigars at Security Post Korea. So the content's been awesome. I want to throw out
doesn't know about
that. That's all right. Then he didn't have to suffer through all that.
Exactly.
The developer on ISC that said she didn't put data slates anywhere. Like that was so heartbreaking. And I say that as somebody that skips every cutscene he can. Like you can tell that she cares about like the lore and stuff. And but the game it's in the best state it's ever been in, and it's embarrassing. Like as a gamer, you have friends that are gamers, and they're like, "What have you been playing?" Like, I'm embarrassed to say Star Citizen because you're gonna have to fight off isn't that game a scam? When's it releasing and all that stuff? But I've had the best experiences of any game in SC. Like, I play pretty much solo everything. Like, I bully my friends into playing it with me. But for the most part, everything's solo. I've done the Valakar solo. Yeah, I've done the Pav solo, and now I'm trying to do these skins or the cargo loading. And last night, I was server hopping trying to find an elevator that worked. I finally found one. I went down there. Like you said, it was a parking lot. And but there was two guys. One kid was like, "Can somebody help me load my Hull C?" We're in ArcCorp. I'm like, "How are we going to load this thing? You got to open it, buddy." But this guy in his concierge Artemex armor with his Hull C, and then another guy with a C2. Like, we helped each other load the stuff, and then we all took off. Like, and that was awesome. There's nothing like this game as much as a kick in the pants that it is.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely true. It's why we're all still around. Like, people ask, "Oh, why do you still play this game if you hate it so much?" It's like, I don't hate it. I love it, and I want it. It's so super special, and I don't want it to be shit.
There was on the embarrassment. There was a 2-day period at the end of the free fly. Which I think was just like last weekend, was this 2-day period where they had like fixed a lot of the issues with the hacking and stuff, so it wasn't as much of a problem. Where I actively wanted my friends to play because I was having the best time, everything was working. Let's go do Hathor, hell yeah, right? And then it's just immediately shut down by the new patch release. It's like, no, don't ignore what I said last week.
Yeah, are your friends like, "Oh, this guy says the game's good again? What a clown."
Yeah.
I don't even talk about it anymore. Even my friends that are concierge and stuff, they're like, what state's the game in? I'm like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't come back, but I'm still putting at least 2 or 3 hours every other day into it because there's just nothing like it.
Yeah, well, it's also if you've learned the workarounds, it's not as bad. But like, as somebody who doesn't, comes in and like has to try to experience this, it's impossible.
Oh yeah, you dropped your gun or the med pen stuck in your hand. It's all right. So you gotta open your inventory, try and put it away, and
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's all I had. Like I said, Alexi covered most of it. Cool. Thank you guys.
Cool. Thank you, Cancel.
Appreciate the call. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. Be good. All right. I was so worried because it was a name I didn't recognize, and their name was Cancel. I was like, mouse. at the beginning of the call.
The whole time.
Yeah, just getting ready to mute him because I thought it might just be somebody trolling. All right, this will be our last one because I got to get going.
Yeah.
Naruchico. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear us?
So, long time listener, first time caller.
Hell yeah, nice.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about my mining experience because it's the first time I decided to mine. It was like, cool, an event where maybe mining's actually going to be something worth trying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a prospector. I'm like, okay, it's solo. It's supposed to be for that. And then I'm just like, why is this off? This feels horribly off. Like,
what was wrong?
Okay, I found a rock.
I mined with a prospector all day yesterday. I wonder what happened.
I guess maybe because I'm new to it and it's like a loop that I really didn't dive into. My experience just felt weird. I'm like, okay, so I found a rock, filled up my ship, fly back to refine it. I'm like, I'm supposed to do this how many times?
Oh, yeah.
And it just felt like it's...
I felt that way too. Okay.
I'm like...
But also, welcome to mining in every MMO.
Yeah,
it's what you do.
Other MMOs I've played, it feels like, okay, I'm supposed to spend a good bit of time, actually mining, putting in the effort, building a load to bring back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm prospector. Do I need to get friends to get these bags and then it won't feel like it? And I'm like, wait, but I'll run out of this rock in 5 minutes and then we have to move to another place. And I'm just like, who is this designed for? Like, the mole makes kind of sense, I think. But I feel like find a field, spend 5 minutes, go somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel like this event in particular, where every second rock has corundum or tungsten or copper in it, a lot of the loop disappears because you're just like, I'm just going to break the first thing that I see, and it's going to, put me towards the goal.
My favorite part about it. You don't like that?
No, I enjoy that change of pace.
Yeah, but I hate scanning.
It means you're not choosing your minerals. You're not really thinking when you're doing it, which is what you would have done before, right? You would have actually actively looked around for quant, or you would have actively looked for taranite and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's literally just, I found rock, I get. Which once again, good change of pace, but that might be why it feels like that, because that's not what they want mining to be. They want you to put a bit more effort into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just weird to me because I'm also like, it's not about hunting for the Quantanium. I'm not prospecting the prospector. I'm just grab whatever rock I run into.
Yeah.
And I keep up with the patches, and they also kind of talked about it being, how they describe it or whatever. I'm trying to get this right. That it's, right now it's like random RNG. So you're not supposed to go out and hunt for something. You're supposed to just kind of get whatever. And I'm just like, well, so you don't want me to hunt. You just want me to just scoop up all the stuff and run as quick as I can. And it's like, none of the ships feel like they're designed to scoop up everything I run into. And then,
yeah, that's a good point. Is like, yeah, I guess you hit more individual rocks with most mining experiences in other games. Eve, not really.
Eve, not. Yeah, Eve, you don't. Eve, you
sit on that rock.
Just get everything.
But outside of that, every other mining experience, you go from one to the next, the next, the next, the next for like a while. Then you're full. Then you go and do it. That's fair. I mean, that's super fair.
This feels like I'm just okay. Let me play the mining mini game for a second, and then I'm gonna fly. Then go to the station.
Absolutely valid feedback.
Fly back out and play the mini game again for 2 seconds, and I'm just like, this isn't mining. This is flying. I can do that already.
I feel like the golem should be 96 SCU. The prospector should be more, and the mole more maybe.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if like the rocks only have like 1 to 2 items, maybe at most.
Yeah, or you reduce what's in the other rocks, but that's also not fun.
And I honestly wouldn't be upset if you spent more time doing the laser part, and maybe you have to like hit a zone, hit this little happy zone to bump this up, and you're like actually mining for more than a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
would like it when they start to introduce the qualities of rocks and whatnot. Actually, having the mining mini game maybe have a bit more impact into that, and make it so that you are a bit like it already is honestly one of the more involved
for sure
mining mechanics of MMOs, because a lot of them are just right click mine.
Yeah, but, that's what the best part of it is.
Would be nice.
Is how active and tactile you are.
Yeah, but still a little bit more would be nice when they introduce some more stuff.
I think even from a logistics perspective, if I'm supposed to be like flying around this planet, scan here, mine this rock, like say we had someone following us, pulling the bags off and taking those to the station, it still feels like we're just chasing each other around a planet, which doesn't feel like mining at all. I'm like, mining, you build a giant ditch and you just keep mining till there's nothing left in it, not running from tiny little stones back and forth. It should take a lot of time to just like keep pulling from the same rock. It's like, we still got more, keep going.
I think Elite, like with deep core mining, is still much better than Star Citizen. I think the original concept of the prospector, I don't know if too many people remember this, but the laser points down underground and removes.
It's still part of the purchase page, like that picture of it.
Yeah, it just points into the ground, which would, you find a spot, you sit there, you mine it, and you scoop it out for a while potentially. I don't know, and deal with that. So I mean,
it's
weird because like your feelings
tiny.
are out there for sure. But yeah, I think your feedback is super, super valid. But yeah.
And otherwise, 4.21. The moment they were like, "Oh, the missions are at elevators," I was like, "Oh no, you poor children didn't learn anything, did you?"
No, they didn't. They did not.
And we did a PTU specifically, like you guys were talking about the CSM or whatever. I'm like, isn't that the point of the issue council and the PTU? But yet again,
not quite. It's a more
very direct
thing.
Yeah,
like they have actual meetings with them and stuff, right? So
yep, they fly them to the studio, then do a summit occasionally.
Players, how dare they talk to us that close?
Crazy.
Yeah, but all right, I guess that's it because we're coming up to time on the show. But we appreciate it, man, and yeah, the mining feedback is valid.
Good content, boys.
Keep watching it. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Have a good one, mate.
All right, he just bounced out. All right, so that is where we leave it. That was an interesting way to end, but it was like so valid. I think it brings me back to like why I like mining in other games as well as why I also still like it in this game. It's like, all right, we just gotta move it around and adjust it a little bit, and it could be good. But
because like in so many video games, it's just unbelievably monotonous.
Yeah, click and go watch a movie until it breaks.
Like the ones that do it better, like you said, Elite.
Yeah, Elite does it great.
So much better. Like it's so cinematic and it feels cool and whatnot.
Yep.
And I mean that's always why I've gravitated towards it, I think.
Yeah. I just like that that's the thing that typically makes the whole world go round in the games that you play. Especially like player driven economies. Like that's where you are the thing that makes the whole world go round. Like I think the Eve mining like video is like we are the people that make this whole thing turn, and it's a big thing in that game, obviously, right? So which is cool. But yeah, that's all I got. Any final thoughts before we head out?
No, it's pretty much it. So if you liked the podcast, make sure you subscribe and like the video. If you're watching over on YouTube as the VOD, or even if you're watching live, make sure you do that. If you're over on Twitch, either on Mark or mine channel, make sure you hit the follow button, and come watch live every week at whatever time this is right now. 2 a.m. Sydney time. Let's go.
Right now is noon Eastern, and it would be 10 a.m. Eastern is when we start.
10 a.m. Eastern. There you go. And yeah, we appreciate you guys always watching. And don't forget, I guess.
Oh, I have my phone. I did forget to answer the call. I did forget.